let's get to the game here, and we're gonna do start with the build viewer. Now, this is Cookie's game in the Republique. Before we get into it too much, Republique, well known as a good sniping battleship because the guns themselves can overmatch an awful lot of different cruisers, especially like Hindenburg and that sort of thing. I never really liked the Republique simply because I found that the ballistics and I just never really clicked. But that could be different for other people. Some people like playing the ship as a secondary ship. I wouldn't, but you could make the argument for doing that. Generally, you just kind of play it as a midline battleship.
I have done it when it was released, but by that time the meta was not as AG spammy, and you really don't want to get AG spammed, especially not by 203s or higher in Republic, because the armor is all 32 millimeters. So I think secondary build at this point of the game is not recommended. Also, I'm triggered by the modules.
So what Grunty is getting at is because he's 32 millimeter armor plating all around. In order to get into range to use those secondaries, you have to be super aggressive, and while you're doing that, you're just getting shot at from everything. So by the time you get into range to use your secondaries, you're probably dead or burnt to crisp anyways.
I have my highest damage game on the U server in a secondary Republic, but I was massively helped with a Cyclone.
Yeah.
And two incompetent Kurfürst players that were right next to each other, but I could farm them one by one.
Right. Right. I mean, in order for you to make this work, you basically have to use islands to kind of hop and jump from one place to the next. So anyway,
and you don't get the pen on them like German battleships. So
you need
and you don't get the accuracy buff from those either. So it's wacky.
Okay, you're here. Good. First of all, dude, why are you playing without full modules? I'm getting some serious Robloxian vibes here. Is it acceptable as co-op? Yes, absolutely, Cthulhu, because in co-op, you hit W straight at the enemy. Even in asymmetric, I could see the argument for a secondary Republique. But I would
still have the issues that the 127s or 128s it has don't pen the 32 millimeters. So it's not as good as the German ones, but it's definitely workable in co-op.
Let's say you pick the IFHE. Your pen is 26. Yeah. So that's kind of sad. You had a lack of credits? Okay. So my opinion, my honest and open opinion with you is don't play the ship until you can fully upgrade the modules. Unless there's a mission or some simple requirement, I feel like, especially at tier 10, you're giving up an awful lot to make this work. So, to me, I'd rather see you playing tier 7, 8, maybe 9 premium ships until you've made up the credits to buy these modules. And then go ahead and buy them and start doing it. Because the other thing is, the lack of the modules means you get hit more, you take more damage, you're less effective in the battle, you're earning less credits, and you may even lose credits at tier 10 depending how many shells you fire and how quickly you die. So, I would rather see you using them. So, in any case, you've got main armaments mod 1, damage control, and main battery. I mean, these are all good picks for the Repub. In slot 3, I would probably go with aiming systems. In slot 4, you would typically go with damage control. You could make the argument for propulsion because it does have engine boost, so that comes in handy there. Actually, in slot 3, is it 3 that you have, or is it 2? In 2,
boost mod in 2.
Yeah, you could put the engine boost mod in instead of the fire flood one here.
I would only do this if you really play the ship often.
Agreed. It's
definitely good, but if you just play the ship, I don't know, once per week, it's probably not worth investing in the coal.
It's an investment to do that. I would agree. And then obviously in the fifth slot here, concealment would be a good one. It was still a really good game somehow. Well, there you go. And I do agree, Cthulhu. You don't care about pen so much. It's more about just hitting secondaries, maybe getting fires and stuff. Okay, is this a special captain cookie? Is this a Benu, an Honoré, or just a standard captain? As you can see, it really only impacts. Well,
Really,
actually, it
this
does both here.
gun array is really, really good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this would definitely help with turret traverse. This would help with, obviously your main battery reload as you take damage. So if you have on array to put, it's great. You don't, you've got a standard captain. Fair enough. Either way, gun feeder into grease the gears, into adrenaline rush, concealment, and then fire prevention. I mean, all that makes perfect sense. It's a French battleship. You could make the argument for brisk because your concealment is relatively low when you have the module going as well. That would help you relocate quicker, maybe at the expense of turret traverse at the start. But
I would
otherwise,
not do that. You only have 2 guns, one is in the back. If you're kiting and turning and you have to throw your guns around, the turret traverse isn't great. I would
no.
not give up the expert mark, or the grease the gears, how it's called.
But again,
Like, you can take brisk later on as an additional skill. As a first 2-point skill, I would not do it. Not on the Republic.
To me, I would, simply because I like having the engine boost and the ability to just relocate quickly. But again, it comes down to the player and how they're using the ship. If they're the kind of person that I see something, therefore I can shoot it, therefore I do shoot it, brisk isn't going to matter. And grease the gears will be more useful. But let's fill out.
If we were talking about a Chambard, for example, I would 100% agree.
Okay, so let's fill out the rest of the captain build here. What would we take next from this point? Probably emergency repair.
If you're looking for a random battles build or
Yeah.
a competitive build, yes. If you're mostly playing co-op or even in ranked where the games might not be lasting that long, could probably get away with not having the emergency repair expert, just because you might not get as much out of it. Although still every single heal is better with it, so...
Great. So now we're down to 3 points left. What do we pick now?
Personally, either basics of survivability, or you can take the brisk and another 1-pointer.
Right. Those are pretty much your only 2 choices.
It depends a little bit too on which upgrade you slot in the force upgrade slot. If you take your damage con there, then basic of survivability gets a little bit less valuable because of diminishing returns.
Right.
You want to have prop mod there. I mean, prop mod works really well together with brisk, but I would probably take basic of survivabilities in that case, just to burn less. Because you're burning a lot in French ships.
Okay. So now let's move on to signals. None. Obviously, you should wear protection. Other ones that are helpful. Speed flag is always great. Your heal flag is great. Fire flood reduction are great. I don't know if there's anything else that really are that important. Maybe ramming flag if you're playing a random battle. So.
Consumable reload reduction.
Huh?
You can run the November Foxtrot.
Yeah.
For the consumables. You could even run a secondary flag. To be honest. Yeah. Because the range is good on those secondaries.
Right. Okay, so let's get into the game then. And for random, Tempta says you could also use anti-air skills. Yeah, that's a possibility. Wade says, I don't think my Repub ever ran out of heals in co-op.
You don't run out of them in co-op.
You're not gonna, no.
You could run out of them in asymmetric battles, though.
Sure. I'd actually feel great if that was the case, right? Because then I'm like, okay, I got all of this to maximum usage. Why is this not going? There it is. Okay. So this is a ranked game. And Cookie, which tier of ranked is this? Is this bronze, silver, or gold? Trident, Montana, Kurfürst, Mecklenburg, enemy team, Salem, double Shimakaze is a concern for me. Because, no hydro. Your team, double Kurfürst, yourself, Colbert, Shimakaze, and Regalo.
Judging by the choice of destroyers, I would say this is bronze.
Okay. This is silver. Ah.
Well,
Alrighty then.
I was wrong. And I'm very, very surprised.
I mean, yeah, silver. I could see Shimakaze pick. The Regulo, I'm confused about. I'm also confused why the Shimakaze and Regulo go in the same place. But again, that's your Regulo's problem, not really the Shimakaze's. This is arms race too. Huh. Okay.
I think, considering this is arms race, and destroyers are rushing for the buffs, I might have preloaded HE here. It's very, very likely that your first salvo is going to be in a destroyer, although Kurfürst gets himself spotted here, so
I mean,
that.
The only, in my opinion, the only real ship in the enemy team that you'd want to have AP loaded for is the Salem. Even HE on a Kurfürst is fine, or a Mecklenburg is fine. You can break secondaries, you can start a fire, you know, those things all have merit. Salem is the only thing that you would rather have AP for because you just want to smash him in the face or the side or whatever.
It's true. Your AP will be doing good against the broadside Kurfürst too, but shooting HE at them is not the worst.
Right. Especially early on. You can if you can bait out a DCP, you can set on fire again. That has lasting effect as well. Shimakaze's detected. You're ignoring him. Also, engine boost would be a good idea when you know somebody's targeting you. This makes it harder for you to get hit.
I don't think there were even shots possible due to the island at the shimmer, but that look towards it to see if there is a shot should have definitely come sooner.
Right. Exactly. Like, at least react to the destroyer. Although Montana has now been kind of suckered into going mid, which is kind of nice for you guys. Comes the salvo, and he's turning broadside to you as well. You are running out of space because you got the island in front of you.
That shot was too low, I think.
And you suffer from the same thing I do, which is make a comment and then immediately find out how wrong you were. As he gets 2 citadels on the Montana.
Please
I was
tell
thinking
me
the
that
same
it's
thing,
not
by the
the
way.
same thing, though.
I was thinking the same. I was, and it just, you know, hey, it happens. Nice kill. So you got very fortunate that the Montana got suckered into the middle like that. Your Shimakaze came all the way back to the middle. Okay.
Boost des moteurs activé.
Here's your heal. I like it. Broadsiding Kurfürst again. Lost our Stream Raiders. Better to get the next one going here, guys. Go. So, at this point, you're up 2 ships. I would caution you against thinking this is over, though.
I'm not actually sure I like going towards the north here.
I wouldn't either. I'd stay with the Regulo and open up that side, because you've got Kurfürst, and you here. So you can't really hold these guys accountable as much.
Yeah,
I mean,
with the position, like you're making it kind of easy for the enemy team to angle against. Oh my god.
exactly, right. Nice job shooting the Salem up the butt there.
Torpille droit devant.
Our
You're
Republic
also-
doesn't do that. Maybe I need to take off the aiming systems.
Right? You're also sailing right towards the enemy Shimakaze, which is also
Alerte incendie.
not ideal, and now you're in the Kurfürst's secondary range.
Yeah, that was a huge misplay, pushing close up to get in the range of the Kurfürst secondaries.
Right.
It was unnecessary.
Nice hit on the Salem. The DCP there, I don't think he had 2 fires. Probably should have been better off waiting for that, but okay.
Problème résolu, chef.
Now, the nice thing about you coming in like that is you're actually taking the heat off of your teammate's Kurfürst, who's also quite low. Actually, both of your Kurfürsts are quite low. I might make a full turn here, as there goes your Colbert. I might make a full turn here just to dodge the Shimakaze's torpedoes. And speak of the devil, there's the Shimakaze.
Alerte incendie.
I don't like that you're ignoring the Shimakaze. You should absolutely be shooting it.
And you even took Gunfeeder to quickly switch to the HE shells too, and you're not doing it.
Right, so that skill hasn't been effective at all for you because of that. The fact you're not switching shells.
Which, honestly, I don't tend to do it in my Republic either. Like on the 380s for a Chambard or Bourgogne or whatever, I would be switching shells much more.
Right.
On the Republic, you can, for the most part, just stick with the
Torpille à midi.
unless you're really shooting, I don't know, Bowen battleships.
That's
That
right.
big.
And now you see the consequence of your inaction when that Shimakaze was detected and you didn't react to him at all. You go boom. Are there any benches on the... Oh yes, there's a couple right down there. If there's any other ones. Love to get a shot with the bench and a fire or something. Because it's fun, right? Well, I mean, that's 2 things the French are known for, right? The benches and burning. Okay, well, let's just go with the one in the back. I mean, imagine just sitting...
You missed the trifecta though.
Okay.
Ship is not reversing.
Oh yeah, that is true. That is true. Bench, burning, and backup. BBB. There you go. There we go. Cookie, any questions from what we have provided you in terms of feedback? I'd still say ship choice, target choice, destroyers, and cruisers first. Battleships come second, or third even. And absolutely look to open up cross shots. Don't just stick with the group, necessarily. Although it might feel like that works because it's ranked and bronze anything works, randoms anything works. But you can go and get a cross shot, open up angles. You're far better off. Shimakaze could still win this game. Actually, Shimakaze can give Solo Warrior. It'd be kind of funny. You should have stuck with the Regulo, yeah. Okay. Now, it looks like you guys are going to win. I mean, your Shimakaze is going to get the cap. Once that happens, the timer, it gets points so quickly, it's pretty much all GG. Unless the Kurfürst to the north dies. Oh, look, he just took torpedoes.
La victoire est à notre portée.
Now it's just a matter of time. This Kurfürst is not even detected, so he doesn't have to worry. And then head of the Kurfürst. I mean, Shimakaze is wasting his time on that one. I mean, Kurfürst has Hydra going, so he probably thinks he can afford to do it. I agree, it's kind of weird for him to chase after a Shimakaze, but it's better for him to do it than you. And I feel like all that does is force Shimakaze farther back to where he can't even have a hope for winning this game.
Honestly, I don't even mind it, because like if he stops chasing and tries to turn around, he exposes the broadside for at least a little bit. So I'd rather chase the shimmer in this case, and if it torps me, I'd take one torp to the nose.
Right. Right, and that won't kill the Kurfürst unless he detonates. In which case, that's on him. Alright, well, we don't see the in-battle screens. It's a slight bug sometimes with the replays now. So let's take a look at your replay render. So if you look at the minimap right now, both Kurfürsts are going the opposite direction from you. I like this because, like I said, you're opening up battleship angles, and you'll see the Kurfürst is angling towards your two Kurfürsts, and because of that, you get some good shots into his side. Same thing with the Montana. If you were with the Kurfürsts, that Montana would have lived an awful lot longer, if not, long enough to do really dirty things to your Colbert, maybe something else. I don't get the decision of both destroyers to go where they did, but at least your Shimakaze had the wherewithal to turn around. Salem has been detected for a long time, and you never shot at him until this moment here. You're going to shoot him right up the butt and demonstrate why you should be shooting at the Salem when you get chances to do so.
Shimakaze was probably afraid to go for the other side with the heal buff because of two Kurfürsts, potential secondaries, and a Salem Raider or so.
Mm-hmm.
And the Regulo just can't really go for it because it's a Regulo.
Yeah. Yeah. He got lucky. The Regulo got lucky. He was able to just gun down that Shimakaze. By the way, Cookie, thanks for sending in that Shikishima sound file.
Is that the new sounds from the PTS?
No. It's just, I don't know. It's just, I had mentioned during the Team League stream about having the Shikishima gun sound.
They changed a lot of gun sounds on the test server again.
Great. Yeah, Kurfürst really did chase after that Shima. He probably thought he's invincible because he's got Hydra going.
I mean, I guess at this point he could have really just turned and get south.
Yeah, but Tashima's
hand,
torpedoes almost encouraged him to turn into him, Okay.
I mean, that the Shimmer ended up in A10, like, tells you all about that Shimmer player you need to know.
And more importantly, he assured the victory. Kurfürst assured victory by doing that. So that's fine. All right, well, hey, Cookie, I hope we give you guys some good feedback and something to think about when it comes to your future battles and all that good stuff.